Hey everyone, how's it going? Octopus here and welcome back to Union Cross. So we're going to be trying to do the free-to-play version of the weekly gem quest. Basically this one is a magic one. I'm having issues with making a guide on my free-to-play account just because, if you guys don't know already, I did get extra attack on my FB Xion. Now that ruins my guides a lot because extra attack does add a lot more power to my Keyblade. Even if I tap or swipe with it, it's still extra damage that you guys are most likely not doing. But that's not my concern. My concern is that ever since I got extra attack on it, these weekly gem quests, that spider has a counter of 8 on its head, and it's throwing my game off a little bit. I did pass it, but I did have to use an EX medal. I'm going to try to do this again with you guys, but this time I'm going to guilt my final boss Xion. Now, I know I don't need to guilt my final boss Xion, but I do want to be at a certain point where I don't feel like I have to pull. So if I guilt her and I feel that I can pass all these quests with ease and not just like barely making it and passing it, then I know that I'll just continue to save my jewels. The way I've been judging how to do pulls or not pulls for my accounts is if I can pass everything, then I don't need to pull. The time I feel like I'm stuck or a really good medal comes out, that's when I pull. But if I feel like I'm not stuck, even if a really good medal comes out, my setup is still like overpowered, then I'll pretty much not pull and I'll start skipping until the power creep happens and I need to pull to keep up with everyone else because there's an amazing medal for Mercy or something like that. But for this, I want to go over using still a free-to-play setup. Just I need to guilt a certain medal right now. Everything else is all free to play. They're all mercy pulls except for Nominate, and Nominate can be replaced with a Key Arts, Beginning, Sky, or Bonds. If you guys are newer, you don't need a Nominated copy of 0.2 Kari. Just add buffs that benefit you. Do you need more speed buffs or do you need more general defense down buffs? Just add them with whatever medals you guys have. That's all you got to do. Go into sorting, go like this. If you need more strength, click on the strength. Put all the strength you need. Strength is like number one. If you guys don't have a strength buffer, you're going to be very weak. The second you start increasing your strength to +6, you're golden. After that, you just start adding attribute strength or attribute defense down. If this is for everyone who's new and trying to figure out what's good or not good, this is how you build your Keyblade. You find buffers first, and then you have your attack medals. So try to get to the cap. The cap is 7 for attributes, +7 for strength, -7 attribute defense on the enemy, and -7 general defense down on the enemy. So that's your cap. You don't have to hit 7, but hit around somewhere like 3s or 4s for everything except for strength. Strength should be at 6+ for a lot of the content that's out now. So I tried my Dark Gnaw strategy, and because of FB Xion having that extra attack, it caused a little bit of issues. And also I was trying to copy my new medal, the final boss Xion, but she also has an issue where she has to have a certain amount of SP. Now, I was copying her, but because you copy with FB Xion, if your your final boss Xion is not guilted, then you're only copying a 2.85 or somewhere in between that, but a lower multiplier. FB Xion copies the next medal's multiplier exactly. It doesn't change it if it was like fully orb. It just copies exactly what it says. So if I copy my own final boss Xion compared to copying a friend's final boss Xion, I'm actually a bit weaker because mine's not fully guilted. So once I start filling up orbs in my final boss Xion, this multiplier will become bigger. More damage my FB Xion will do. So with that being said, I want to try the strategy of the Dark Gnaw and then go in with also using the Divine Rose, because Divine Rose is going to be my next Keyblade that I'm going to go back to, just because FB Xion is going to be more valuable to me at certain quests as a utility medal just because of that extra attack. Also, she's just an amazing spirit medal as well. Any Keyblade you want, I can put her there. She's useful everywhere. So this is what I beat the quest with, and I used a Roxas EX. Was this setup right here. Defense boosts are not needed. Second chance is the only thing that's needed. Realistically, if you have a defense boost 4, you can survive the spider's hit, but all 3 defense boost 4s have to go off, I believe, and your HP has to be boosted just a little bit or maxed out at least. Currently we have, how much HP do we currently have? 5,970, and I think he was doing 2,500 with defense boost 2s activating. So I'm pretty sure that with defense boost 4, you guys should be able to survive 3 hits. So I'm not willing to use defense boost 4s yet, especially because I can pass it using certain strategies. So I don't use skills or anything until I really have to. And that's how I play this game since the beginning on my main account and this account. Don't use it unless you have to. Try everything else first and then start wasting skills, start wasting guilt and all that. Now I know this video totally ignores that because I'm about to guilt her, but I know that I want to continue to be powerful and not struggle, so I don't want to waste time. So we are going to level up. We're going to go for Final Boss Xion, fully guilted. I did get myself another Fantasia Mickey B today because I had 5 magic brooms laying around, so I do have 4 in total. We are getting them in Union Cross, so by the time I do pull another important medal that I want to guilt, I should have more Fantasia Mickey Bs. Medals like Xion, Nominee, this Final Boss Xion, EX medals, copy medals like Key Art Bond, Sky, Beginning, they're all worth the Fantasia Mickey Bs. Only if you need it right away. If you're passing everything, then just hold out because you might pull something better that comes out. Only use Fantasia Mickey Bs when you feel like you're stuck or you're just powerful enough and you need the extra edge to continue being like very, yeah, I went over this already. So anyways, let's go for the guilt. 1, 2, 3, she's ready 100 out of 100, she has her attack boost, and now we go for guilt. It's not a guilting campaign, or at least I don't think there's a guilting campaign, but I do have tons of magic mirrors. I almost have 300 magic mirrors on this, so I'm not like, ooh, I need perfect guilt, but 136%, I'll take that. That is beautiful. Again, if you're full of mirrors, then don't be scared to do your guilts. Just go for the guilt, guys. It's not a big deal. That's what magic mirrors are there for. Mostly they're for like limited time medals where you can only guilt once and you can't really guilt again until they re-release a high score challenge medal or something, or a limited time medal. They're really good for that, but when you got this much going on, it doesn't really matter. Alright, last 5 mirrors. This is the perfect guilt on Final Boss Xion, 180%, and its full max multiplier is a 3.01 to a 4.25. Now, I have done some tests, and even if I don't have the right SP, there's a certain mark between 10 SP and more is what you need for Final Boss Xion to do the most damage. And then when you go to 9, she does a little bit less. When you go to 8, she does a little bit less, so on and so on, until you hit that 3.01. So there is a multiplier in between. I've done testing on other medals. I think it was the Organization 13 medal Axel. I did a couple tests with him, and on the first slot, second slot, third slot, they all had different damage. First slot being the most, second being the medium, and then third slot being less, and fourth slot it went to like shit. So you don't need 10 SP, but you're not going to get that 4.25 without that 10 SP plus. So that's the issue with Darknot, but when you use stuff like Stroke of Midnight, Fenrir, Divine Rose here, stuff like that, they are full of SP, and when you have a tire, you can restore all the SP you need. So the setup here basically is to get 2 general defense down off the bat, and then get as much speed up and speed down as I can, because my own Final Boss Xion also does a ton of damage and lowers general defense down. So we're gonna go in, we're not gonna use Roxas EX like I did to pass this the first time. I did this without guilting my Final Boss Xion, and I got the spider down to 2 HP bars plus 2 HP bars, and then the one, so about 7 HP bars, which equals up to 140,000 HP, which is nothing because each little square of HP equals 20,000 HP, if you guys didn't know that already. So we're gonna go in this, we're gonna do exactly what I did. As you guys see, I was using this Roxas, but now we're gonna use Anthony's Final Boss Xion. So he's not with me in the room, but he's there in spirit, and his medal. So let's go for this, guys. Hopefully this works out. If it does, also hopefully everything I was talking about gives you guys an idea of what to do with yours. The guys with the 3 counters on their heads, if you make them go down to 0, they actually apply a lot of debuffs. So it's not like the spider where when you die and you come back, all the debuffs are on them. They actually debuff you, so it's better not to make their counters go to 0. So apply 2 buffs, most likely 0.2 carries, and then use your strongest medal, which is going to be, for me, HD Xion, which wipes the 2 guys out. Here's where the extra attack is here, but if I use my friend medal, I'm going to swipe here so I don't do too much damage, 7,800. Again, I know you guys don't have an extra attack, but this is what you're supposed to be doing. Your friend medal will finish it off. Huge damage you guys just saw, 420 something thousand. So right here, the Sleeping Archer, we're going to use Nominee to be a 0.2 card, whatever your buff is. Use it again. We're going to go to sleep, but because we're using a Spirits as a medal, we already got our buffs in. So now what you guys want to do is tap on the archer, not the actual healer, to get that little bit extra damage in there. I did an extra 45,000 damage for tapping, and then we're going to activate our strongest medal because it's near the end of the Keyblade. So falling asleep is not a big deal. Second group, really easy. Most of you guys know about this, most of you don't. If you tap on the platform and get up there, you're safe to skip this enemy right here, the Barrier Master. And what you do is hit that plank right there, wherever you guys see my white flashing, and then hit the wall behind them and you pass them. There's easier ways of doing that, but I just find that the most efficient because I've done this over and over and over. I just tap on the sticking piece of wood that's sticking out, and then I click on the wall and I pass by them all the time. So you can skip that enemy and go straight to this one and try your best at this. Now, another strategy is to fill up your Keyblade with medals like from Cinderella, Lady Tremaine, what's her name? Whatever, the stepmother from Cinderella, and also Jasmine. I believe Jasmine from Aladdin. They lower the enemy's strength. If you can stack a bunch of strength, you can survive his hits as well because he does not heal himself from all the effects around. He doesn't use Asuna. He dispels our buffs on us, but he won't take away debuffs on him. So lowering his attack is another way to survive this. So the only issue of you guys copying this is that my FB Xion has extra attack, so I can't use my Nova. But I'm going to tap with my FB Xion, and that will kind of equal my Nova, because in the last free-to-play setup I did for this weekly gem, my Nova does about 65,000 damage, and tapping with my FB Xion after this will classify as my Nova, which is not as good. So right here I'm going to tap, and I'm going to do almost the same, not really. And then we're going to end this off with our friend medal. His counter is going to go to 0. Second chance is going to activate. He's going to kill us, and we're going to come back to life. Hopefully, if second chance... See? Oh, you guys can't see, but I survived 2 of those hits. So second chance 2 activated. I don't need to come down here anymore. But yeah, 3 defense boost 2s activated, and if I had a little bit more HP, like about 2,000 more HP, I would survive. And that's why I think defense boost 4 would actually work. But anyways, as you guys can see, 7 general defense down and 5 speed down. My debuffs on him carried over. My buffs would carry over, but they dispel us, so we're not going to have our buffs. But we're going to have a pretty good amount because of the setup, so it's not that bad, and hopefully this is enough. Again, I did this with the Roxas EX, and it did this no problem. I'm around the point where I'm not doing too much damage. This Tyree is guilted at 108%, so there's a little bit extra damage there as well, if you guys can't get extra damage like I have. But this Xion does 1,358,000 fully guilted on the Divine Rose lat slots. I'm going to activate my FB Xion, which is going to be another attack at 1,172,000. That's a difference in using a 3.0 multiplier and a 2.5 multiplier. It's a huge difference. So right here, we're at 6. I'm going to swipe with this. I have to swipe with this. That did about no damage. And then our final boss, Xion from Anthony, or your friend, should finish this off no problem, guys. And there you go. But for you, remember, where I tap with my FB Xion's extra attack, you guys should be using Nova on the first turn to make that counter 8 go to 0. Once it goes to 0, second chance, you guys saw the debuff stand, and you're good. But that is how powerful final boss Xion, and that's why I want to guilt her. Even though I didn't really need it, it's really, really good, and I'm going to use it for the next upcoming high score challenge, so that works out as well. Now remember, my final boss Xion attack there was not maxed because... Oh no, that was maxed. I'm not using the Dark Gnaw. Never mind. So that was her full potential, missing a little bit buffs and debuffs here and there. So she can do a lot more than this if I had 7, 7, 7, 7 of everything. So hopefully this helped you guys out. Again, the most important thing in building Keyblade is applying your buffers first. So about 3 medals dedicated to buffers, 4 if your guilty medals are really, really strong. If your guilty medals aren't that strong, then it's better to go with 3 buffers and 3 attackers. Here I have 4 buffers and 2 attackers, but my 2 attackers are also debuffers, so it does work out nicely. So hopefully something here helped you. My FB Xion didn't really get in the way. It was counted as my Nova. If you guys look at it that way, my Nova is only level 200. I have not fully upgraded any of the farmable medals. At Union Cross right now, the medals are dropping like crazy. I recommend you guys do Union Cross as much as you can until you guilt everything. And remember, medals like the 3D Riku and Sora and Meow Wow, Those medals, you gilt them first at 25%, gives you Nova, then you fuse them together and you gilt the Meow Wow and Pals, which is Sora, Riku, and Meow Wow put together, and then that gives you another 6 Nova. So those 3 medals plus the one they fuse into gives you all Nova. So guys, you got to do it. That's 6, 12, 18, that's 24 Nova right there, just because of 3 medals that fuse into 1 new medal. So tons of Nova if you guys are doing it. And also all the event medals, if you guys don't have them fully gilted, just farm Union Cross, guys. It's worth it. More Nova, the better for you during quest. Not even that. Utility medals, medals for Proud Mode. There's a lot of good stuff happening in Union Cross right now. So hopefully something here helped you. Let me know what you guys did in the comment section so you can help out other people. Tell them what your setup was, what you did. This is just something I did, and I want to share with you guys. This is my free-to-play account. This is Smelly. This is not Octopus. This is the one with 294 days played. It's not as new as it used to be, but it's never had money put into it, a gift card, any VIP, nothing ever bought. So that's all I got for now. As always, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll see you in the next one.